Hanging out with Hannah Huston this morning. Hannah, I know you got a big show coming up here really soon. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Okay. Yeah, let me tell you about it. So the Lincoln Symphony Orchestra has reached out to me and want to put on this like super unique show filled with songs from The Voice, the songs that I sang on the show. And so kind of reconstructing all those songs, and we're going to put on 2 separate shows on September 18th, one at 3 and one at 7. Yeah.
So you're gonna be singing with the orchestra. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Is it intimidating?
I feel very Adele. I'm like, this is what Adele would do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Usually,
I don't know if it's intimidating or if it's just like I've never done it before, so I don't really know what to expect. Like the sound is going to be so interesting, but it's like a kind of. It'll just be super cool. Mm-hmm. I think some of the songs have really.
What are some of the songs?
So yeah, the hits from the show that I got to sing. So When a Man Loves a Woman, Rolling in the Deep, Every Breath You Take, like things like that will be, and a few others. I mean, they just really have moments where an orchestra could just really sound amazing. So it's kind of funny. Like I picked all these songs that really could work.
Yeah, that lend well to this style anyway.
Absolutely. So that's,
By the way, while we're talking about this, tickets go on sale Thursday, July 14th. It's $21 for adults and just $11 for students. Speaking of students, how you doing being away from the kids?
That was really hard to come back, and school was not in session. It was summertime when I returned from the show. So I got home, and that was kind of hard because it was really trippy for me to leave. I left like early, it was like late winter when I left, and I didn't get back till the school year was over. So I really missed an entire semester with my kids, and that was always hard. I mean, I was gone in and out, in the fall just because of audition, the blind audition, and then Battles Knockouts were filmed then, and that was still when it was kind of like a secret.
Right.
And then it aired, January, February, I can't remember when, but it was like a long time to be gone. And so it's been kind of
And LPS was great. I mean, they
were wonderful to me. I mean, super supportive, and that was just like huge, You don't see that all the time.
Well, because you're really putting a lot on the line. If you don't have some of the successes that you had on the show, if you have an employer that's not going to let you come back to that, I mean, you could be setting yourself back years in your career.
I just think it was a moment for me to see that I worked for a district that really practices what they preach. Like, I mean, they don't just say like kids, like you can really go after these dreams and attain them, but it's like I'm extending this to the person that I've employed. Like this is the same thing for you,
right?
Yep. So that was really cool, and I think if anything, like I came back and Arnold, we did a little get together at my school, and they just said throughout the show we became the closest friends as a staff and as a crew.
Yeah.
It's like super cool. Like the show literally brought families like together. It was so cool. I mean, it was a lot of television. I never really like promote like, hey, watch 2 hours of TV every night.
Right.
Don't usually do that. But it was so cool for like people to be a part of the journey with me, and that was just, I don't know, icing on the cake when I got home to hear about that.
It's not like it was senseless violence or anything. You're not asking them to turn into a cop show. This is someone from their town. This is someone that they know, and we want to see them succeed.
It was for a good cause.
We're talking to Hannah Huston from The Voice. Now, do you have any idea, just one other thing about the school thing, what are your plans for the fall? Are you going back? Is it all on hold? Are you just going to see what happens with this?
Right. I think teaching will always be a huge part of my life. I mean, it's super important to me, and it was definitely why I went to school. Like I knew I had to teach, and people are a huge passion in my life. Just that was an amazing experience, and teaching was wonderful. But I think with the show and the momentum that I have currently, it's just taking another year to kind of pursue some music and write.
Right?
Just definitely explore that avenue, because I've never really allowed myself to do that. I didn't really have the time, and so I think I'm just gonna go after it,
Well, God, you're still a kid, right? You're 25, 24 maybe?
I'm 25 years old, and I was in like my second year of teaching. And what was funny is like I remember having a conversation with my mom before even The Voice happened, I was like, I feel like I'm getting good at my job. I was like, I like finally feel like I'm like getting decent at teaching, because it's so hard, you know. Teachers really have to give themselves a couple years to get pretty good. So I was like, I'm feeling pretty good at teaching. And then I like leave and I go and do The Voice, and I'm like, well, I didn't think I'd last that long, but
do you get recognized here?
All the time.
Really?
And especially when I don't want to be recognized, I'm like, I look terrible right now. I was at Target the other day, and 2 Target employees came up to me and they're like, we didn't know if it was you or not, but we think it was you. I was buying an external hard drive for my work
So
computer.
I'm watching the show, and you know the chairs turn around, and I'm thinking she's going to pick Blake Shelton. She's going to pick Blake Shelton.
Oh, really?
And you don't pick
that's
Blake
awesome.
Shelton. Yeah, well, you know, you're from Nebraska.
I think we all just assume that
you're gonna
your country.
Yeah. Did he give you a hard time? You know, not picking him?
He was super fun to talk to. I mean, you don't see
He's
all
funny,
the conversation.
isn't he? Yeah,
like,
right.
there's a lot that was said that you don't even see on the show. He was super fun. I mean, throughout the whole season, he always came up to me, and we always had good conversations. He's such a hoot. And just personable. Like, I don't think he, like, carries himself like he's this really big deal.
Right.
But, I mean, he kind of is. But he's just, like, really funny and chill. And
Well, it's nice to see that the stuff that we don't see is the same as the stuff we do see, essentially. Because I think that if you polled a bunch of people, that's the kind of feeling you would get from his public persona.
Yeah, and Pharrell is completely on and off camera the same person. Like, the person you see, like, taking notes and, like, really caring, like, he does that off camera. I mean, he went up to artists all the time. Like, just...
I'd probably have to pick Pharrell. It's
Dude,
Pharrell,
you can't not. Like, he was...
Pharrell.
His eyes were, like, sparkling. You're like, oh, my gosh, I have to pick Pharrell. That's awesome. He told me, he's like, I didn't think you were going to pick me. And I go... I was literally looking at you like the whole time. Even when Christina was talking to me, I just kept looking at you going, are you really there? That's so weird.
So what's it been like since you've left the show? Do you feel like, you know, watching it, the feeling is that you have great relationships with these people. And I mean, is that authentic? Like, can you call them?
Oh,
Do you have their numbers?
They are my friends forever.
Really?
I mean, they are just dear to my heart. I mean, those people are just awesome.
Wow.
So, and it's so unique because no one else can relate to that time of my life more than those people.
Right.
Because we went through the same filming, interviews, the same stresses, the same things. We all went through them.
We're talking to Hannah Huston. If you missed it earlier in this conversation, she is going to be performing at the Lead Center, and that's with the Lincoln Symphony Orchestra coming up on September the 18th. For details, go to our website, froggy981.com. But do you see yourself... Where do you see yourself? I mean, are you going to be a country singer? Are you going to be
a pop singer?
Probably a rap superstar is
Nice.
kind of the direction I'm going. Yeah, like a Kendrick Lamar. No,
Nice. You got a lot of street cred.
I just want to keep singing songs that are true to me, and I think the sound for me will definitely find its tune soon. I mean, I really haven't. I've been writing before the show and been writing a lot since I've been home. But yeah, it's really new.
Does the show
It's
help?
super new to me, so I'm excited to hear what it's all going to sound like.
Like post show, do they encourage that you're writing and that you're kind of taking charge of your own? I guess, how much of a hand in your life now does the show have now that you're not on it? Because other singing competitions are notorious for being micromanagers and being all up in your business, taking care of all your social media and kind of locking you down.
The only thing I would say is they keep an eye on you just to make sure you're presenting yourself in the best light.
Right, because you're a reflection of them.
I am a reflection of them, obviously. I've never had any issues with that, and I think they've been nothing but supportive. And I mean, the executive producer came up to me on the very last show and was like crying and was just like, I'm so glad we had you this season.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like, totally want the best for you and are your friends. And like, I still talk to a bunch of them. So, there's contract things that are that happen going on a national television show, but they're not abrasive at all. It's not too intense at all. It's more of just continue doing what you want to do. And
that's good to hear. It makes me like The Voice even more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good program
question
anyway,
because you make it so far, like the top 4, more things probably are a little bit more hands-on at that point. So yeah.
So let's find out some more about the night. We have Barbara with us this morning who's going to explain what we can expect, because this is different for everybody. I mean, I don't know that I've seen anything like this before, Barbara.
Yeah, we wanted to put together a community event that was affordable to everybody, and that there are a lot of moving parts to this. So the Lead Center and the Symphony partnered together to present this show. Tickets are $21 for adults, $11 for kids, so we wanted it to be really affordable. There's a small section of kind of front and center seating that's $36. But you were talking with Hannah earlier about Lincoln Public Schools and how supportive they've been of her. Sure. And it was really important for all of us, and especially for Hannah, to actually really do some tangible good for our community through this concert. And so Hannah's arranged to have $1 for every person who attends the concert donated to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools.
Oh, that's great.
And that will go into their programming and some special funding that they have for early childhood classrooms and for some emergency funding for families that need it.
Sure.
So it'll be really special, and we're encouraging people, when you buy your tickets, think about going to foundationforlps.org and also making a donation. You can join Hannah in supporting LPS.
So, Barbara, what's the best way to buy tickets?
The best way to buy tickets is through the Lead Center box office. That is 472-7272, or go to leadcenter.org. We'll have more information on the Symphony's page, on your show's page, but to actually buy your tickets, call the Lead Center.
Okay. And what if I want to meet her? Not me personally, but people listening.
Right.
We are going to have a short meet and greet after each concert. And so we'll have some posters for Hannah to sign. And it'll be very, very fun.
Well, that sounds great, Barbara. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to this, Hannah. This is going to be a great night for the city, for you personally. And it's just going to be a great event.
I think so, too. I think what's most special to me is singing in front of, like, the people who voted and watched and the people who know me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like my hometown. It's where I come from. So I've been singing in front of millions of people who I don't necessarily know. So this will be a room full of people in my community, which is super duper special. So I'm thrilled that the Lincoln Symphony Orchestra would make this happen, and thankful that we have the Lead Center. I mean, what a cool space that venue. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just taking advantage of the things that are in your hometown, and I think making art where you are is super special. So I'm pumped.
Again, 2 shows, 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock on September the 18th at the Lead Center. Hannah Huston from The Voice, from Lincoln and from The Voice.
Right.
If you want to buy tickets and you want more information, head to our website right now, froggy981.com.